As I continue with my series beyond the Shadowlands lore, I wanted to take some time to actually go through the zones and go through the expansion to make sure that the themes and the narrative were in place and it wasn't just like initial hype or an initial shock on the expansion. Because when I went to Oribos and when I started to do the Bastion questline, I found so many little themes, and while I was streaming, I was just in awe at all of the things that I was seeing. Not Maldraxxus. Maldraxxus seems like something very out of place, something very... I will speak about it. There are some themes there, but I think Maldraxxus was a bit raunched. But then Ardenworld, and now at the moment of making this video starting Revendred, the themes are very real. And the whole thing about dying is something that interests me a lot. As I've said in some other videos, I do some real life research into this topic, and the way that they are portraying the whole thing in a very artistic, in a very fantasy narrative kind of way, in a very speculative way on how truly what lies beyond life is something amazing, is something very philosophical, and I'm having a blast with the experience. In this video I want to speak about Oribos, because Oribos is something that was unexpected by me and is one of my favorite places. But some of the things, like I know a lot of people are just rushing through the zones, they're not paying attention to the little things. There are a few who are, but as I've been saying, I'm trying to relate what I know from my research and what these fantasy narratives tells us, because these fantasy narratives are the psyche trying to speak to us. It is the subconscious mind trying to speak to us. So what they're portraying here is the experience of dying. You die, even though you don't die in the game, which I would have loved, but you die, and supposedly you arrive to this terminal city. This so-called quote-unquote eternal city, which implies that in this realm there is no time. It is eternal. Time is not a factor here. And you look around and it seems like a whole different dimension. You arrive here through a portal where you become pure anima, pure energy. And when you are here, you see that everything seems very alien-like, very outworldly. You don't see the angelic. The angelic is Bastion. You don't see the godly, the heavenly references. You see alien-like structures. You see technology. You see incorporeal beings who seem to know the ins and outs of the fabric of the universe. This was a bit unexpected by me, because I was expected to be thrown straight into Bastion, into the heavenly place and the godly angelic beings where they show you about a higher thing or something like that. But no, instead I get the alien-like things which explain to you things that are very present in the modern research and with the whole scientific advancements that we've made and the quantum physics and so on, these theories on the universe. And they tell you, and they use the word multiverse. They tell you that there are infinite realms all around existence, and they even mention that you seem quite corporeal in your form, because in this plane of existence, in Oribos, in this eternal city, these people have no bodies. They have evolved past bodies. However, they do recreate a form, a shape that you can understand, most likely, for you to not be afraid, perhaps, for you to understand what even is happening. And you know, as I've been saying, this is a key item in some of the experiences in the actual research, where people are coming from altered state of consciousness experiences, telling the same story, that they met these entities, these incorporeal entities. Most often these are entities made of light, which show them certain things and which tell them the mysteries and so on, tell them how things actually work, and exactly that there are infinite realms and we're all playing a character in the universe. So in any case, Blizzard does a great way to portray this idea, this research that is happening, and they manage to put their little things into the game, their crafting and all their banks and all their stuff into these brokers, which are these beings who, just like the Oribos entities, they are simply incorporeal entities that adopt a form to communicate, to try to get closer to you. In any case, these beings seem to be very caring, very well-meaning beings that want to help you, and they are there to maintain the order of things and to prevail this quote-unquote purpose, which, as I said, is so mysterious, is the kahuna of life, is the final mystery that they're probably, I don't know if they're gonna reveal it. I'm very interested if they're gonna at the end try to show us something, or maybe as further parts of the expansion come out, they're gonna explain this purpose. The same with the Path of Ascension and some of the other things that I've been seeing in the expansion, but in any case, they are there to maintain this order, and they are quite amazed that you managed to escape the maw, this inescapable place of torment, and they speak about it being a prison, and about the jailer, which perhaps might escape. They call him the Banished One. Now, this is Gnostic Christianity. This is this idea of this evil being trapped, and this prison, this all being part of the order of the universe. This place of torment has a purpose and has a place in the structure of the cosmos, of reality, of the universe. In the game is where all these evil souls, irredeemable souls as they call them, go to, and just like a prison. Now, in the real research, as I said, because it's as this expansion deals with very complicated items, it's very important to not carry any sort of negative or incorrect information into our subconscious mind. So in the actual research, all these stories about hellish experiences from people who go through altered state of consciousness experiences points to the idea that these are their own psyche, their own state of consciousness, where all their traumas, where their very own anxiety, at the point where they're having the experience, whether it is a near-death experience and they are going in the ambulance, or they're being held by paramedics, or in psychedelics where they're just having a session or something like that. And if they are in a bad state of consciousness where they just had a difficult thing happen in their lives, so they just lost someone, or they feel some sort of anxiety, they seem to go into these hellish experiences where their own minds create these realms. Either their own minds create the realms, or they connect to these realms that are out there somewhere. This is very new research. It's very very recent and very unexplored, but this seems to be the case. So it's as this expansion sort of deals with religions and with narratives. Of course, everything is supposed to be imaginary, but as I've been saying, there's real research backing these items on. So no, this jailer place, this prison is not something that is supposed to be. It's something that you can escape from, and it's something that happens when you are in a negative place, in a negative state of consciousness. That is what the research suggests. Finally, they introduce you to what I would say is the most important concept or theme in the whole expansion, or maybe the whole... Even in the real research, I consider this to be the most important piece of evidence that we have, and this is the life review. They tell you that in this perfect order of the universe, there is a being who goes through every joy, every folly, every regret of each and every life, every existence throughout time, because we're talking about this eternal city. And then this being will judge you to an appropriate realm, either a realm in the Shadowlands or a realm in the mortal planes. Perhaps you go into Ardenwell and you are reborn again. And if you're an irredeemable soul, you go into the Maw. This is a fascinating concept, and it's something that is very real in the research. This is a theme in near-death experiences, this of the live review. It's a very real theme, and it's just like the game portrays it to be. It is going through your whole life and gaining a new realization. But I'll go fully into this into the next video, because I wanna go into all the details. So for this video, that's it. I'm gonna keep going with Beyond the Shadowlands lore. Thank you so much for watching, and maybe I'll see you next time.